Welcome. Yeah, this is you could consider it woo-woo, but if you consider it woo-woo, then you are probably one of the people that have been living a default life. And we're gonna get into that right now. So this stuff is what makes uh good people great people, and semi-successful people extremely successful and efficient people. So I got a question for you guys, and I want you to answer this in the chat. If you don't decide what you want your life to look like, who's going to decide it for you? I want you to write it in the chat. There's no right or wrong answer here. Where we got? But everyone around me, yeah, your limiting beliefs, no one or everyone. Awesome. Is anyone miss putting it in? Yes, so all of those things are correct. So I've got my little drawing pad here. Hi. Oh, wow. Could not write that any worse. Hi. Um, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a beautiful little picture of you. This is you. Oops, wow. No, you're a bit happier than that. You. Um, and this is you right now in your business. I mean, that face is a bit cooked, but anyway. And from this point in your life, you've got two directions. So we've got one direction here, one direction, the other direction here. Now this one is your default life. This is supposed to be a heart, a broken heart. This one is the life that you want to live. So dream life, and your default life. And with your default life, things, words that we can maybe associate with that would be burnout, um, uh, living somebody else's life. Where else? What else did I have here? Sorry. What words kind of come to mind for you guys when you think of a default life? So maybe one of the lives that you're living somebody else's dream. You're not living the one that you want. You're living to those limiting beliefs. What words come to mind? I want you to put them in the chat. Unconscious living. Yeah, awesome. Unconscious living. What else? Default life. So something that's not yours, not something that's opposite to your dream life. What have we got? Routine. What else? Come on, guys. So dreaming, yeah. So just dreaming. Daily grind. Awesome. And inspiring. Yep. Awesome. Just trying to find. Oh, I've just lost my whole notes here. Sorry, guys. I literally just put this bit together like an hour ago. Sorry. Oh my God, where the hell's it gone? I've got like 1,400 tabs open. Do not be me. Do not be this person. Bored, one thing, stagnant, amazing, awesome. All right. Give me a second. So all this time to sit here and do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so reactive, stagnant, limbo, awesome. Let's write these down. Limbo, stagnant, reactive, you can start thinking even about some of our emotions as well. Misaligned is probably, that's the one I was looking for. Misaligned. And yeah, ultimately that is not living your life. When we start thinking about your dream life, we start thinking about what you actually want to be doing. So words like intentional. I'd start writing these in the chat. What do you think of when you're thinking about your dream life? So intentional, things like energized, motivated, perfect.
Do you want me to read them out for you when they pop in?
Oh, it's all right. I've just figured out how I can have both of them: happy, purposeful, content. Amazing, guys. This is awesome. Useful, perfect. So there's so many like things here when we write them down, we're like, okay, well, obviously we know which one we want to choose and which one's that. So it's our default life. I mean, dream life, not our default life. And how do we get to these things? So how do we get to a dream life? This is why everyone's like, well, like it's a dream life. I can't really get there, or I'm trying. I'm trying to do these things. I'm putting in the work. I'm blah blah blah. Action is great. Actions. How do we do that? So we like action. How else do we move towards that dream life? What do we feel like we maybe need? And if you don't know as well, that's okay as well. Say that. So you're not sure. Upskilling, manifestation, amazing, planning, meditation, perfect, guys. Awesome. So all of these things will help us get to this dream life. But what all of these things have in common is foundational, grounded vision. If we don't know what we want, like we don't know what we want, so we don't know what this dream life looks like, then how do we know we're going in the right way? So a great way to oh, hold on. So I missed a whole bit. So this bit, like all of these things, like all of that, they're our North Star. And that's the thing that helps us guide to this dream life. So a way that we can explain this is, excuse my very fast, shitty drawing, is if we think about, no, this is so fucking bad. We've got a little car. Jesus freaking Christ. This is our car. And we're trying to get somewhere. We don't have maps. We don't have our Melways, because that used to be being, remember? Jesus. Don't have our Melways. So what are we going to do? We're just going to probably like drive around and go through all these different roads that like we really don't need to. So you start driving, you're following all these different roads. You're like, it looks fine in the moment, like, but you're burning fuel, you're wasting time, and you might even like arrive to your destination and it's not even the right one. And this is what we call our default life. So this is where sometimes people will come, like they'll have like maybe a midlife crisis and they'll be like, why the fuck am I here? Why am I here? Like, this is not where I wanted to be. When I was like 27 years old, this is not where I wanted to be. And that's living that default life. And the reason why most people get there is because they don't have the clear vision of where they wanted to go. So this is where that North Star comes back into play. And our North Star is our vision, what it looks like. What does our dream life look like? What our dream life looks like. And when we have that North Star, or when we have the, Google Maps, we know exactly how we go from point A, so where you are now, where you are now, to point B. Right? So when we have that map, when we have that North Star, we have that vision, we know exactly how to get from here to this point. So your dream life. And this is what we're going to be working on today. This is what I'm going to kind of like walk you through. And that is a manifesto. Does anybody know what a manifesto is? And it's okay if you don't. Or like maybe you could just say what you think it is while I have a drink of water. And feel free to open up your mics as well. I want you to get involved if you don't want to type. So what is a manifesto? Manifesting your dream life. Yeah. List of names on a plane. Love it. Story of your life or something that's important to you. Yeah, awesome. Amazing. So yeah, look, that's it. So it's like a manifesto. I mean, there's if you were to just Google like a definition of a manifesto, it'll come up with things like a plan for politics and like use it and this and all of that kind of stuff. But we're talking about like a personal life manifesto. And that is essentially a declaration of your core values and beliefs, what you stand for, and how you intend to live your life. Like, what does your life look like? So when we go back to, is it this part? Whatever. Yeah. When we go back to it, it's our vision and what our dream life looks like, and how we can actually visualize that. So yes, it's manifesting. Yes, it's visualization, but it's so much more than that. This process is about actually getting so fucking clear on what this looks like, so that you know throughout like your like life, like you're going to have ups and downs, you're going to go backwards, you're going to be up, you're going to be down, you're going to be all of these things, but you know where you are, because you know where you're going. So when you have wins, you can be like, oh my God, like that's something I didn't do like 6 months ago. And that's something that now, like, because I've defined my dream life, I'm actually kind of starting to live my dream life. For example, for me, one of the things that was in my manifesto and in my vision boards and stuff was something as simple as I saw myself like having eyelash extensions, right? Like I saw that that's what I was like writing. I was like, yeah, I really want to be wearing eyelash extensions. So when I got them, I was like, I'm like looking at my vision board and I'm like reading part of my manifesto going, holy shit, like I'm already living part of my dream life. I'm coming to Bali, like I'm in Bali right now. Uh, but I'm like, holy shit, like I'm here on my vision board. I also had like getting a massage, like making that like a routine. I've been getting a massage like every week. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, like actually starting to live my dream life. I would obviously feel good, right? About doing that, because who doesn't want to like, feel beautiful and have a massage? But uh I'm being able to actually have one point of call. So one like declaration, one thing that I have sat down when I wasn't in my dream life, I wasn't living my dream life, and I was dreaming about it. I've written it down. I've got this thing. I read it to myself, and it's something I can keep coming back to and going, oh shit, I can like tick this thing off. Because if we don't like define these things and we don't have a clear vision, then that's where we're going to be literally living our life like this and not having, you know, any destination and just driving the streets. Like if you're dropping your kids off at school, you're not going to go like the long way and go down streets that you don't need to. You're going to go like straight from home, straight to school because you know what the objective is. You know what the goal of that is. So what we're going to, like, how does that feel to everyone? Does that make sense to you all? The power of that, the power of having a vision and what that means. You don't have to know what it is right now. Yes. Okay. Awesome. How does that transpire into, oops, like why does that matter for our brains, right? Like I know we've kind of explained it a bit here already, but let's get into why having a manifesto matters. We've already said, so it's about knowing the destination, right? But that also comes along with having a decision filter. Oops, filter. What does that mean? It means like, is this anything that happens in your life, is it going to lead you towards the default life? Oops. Or is it going to lead you to like a step towards your goal life? So it's a decision filter, and you can use that in any regard. And then daily activation. The daily activation. So the things to help you, like words that help you keep aligning yourself with this future version of yourself. A great way to look at it. I'm going to pretend I'm drawing a car, but this is not a very good car, but whatever. So say you're driving you're driving your default life. I really need to get better at driving I'm drawing cars. This is horrific. This is so bad, but whatever. You're living your default life, and we're going to imagine here we've got a field and there's a dirt road. So the dirt road is here. It's already formed, right? It's already there. And this is where our default life is. But where our dream life is, it's over here. And there's like fucking heaps of grass. There's probably like rocks. There's probably like a freaking pothole because like, God, there's so many potholes like where I live. Anyway, just grass and all this kind of stuff. Normally, I would like just drive my little car along this road because I don't have to think. It's already formed. I don't have to create a road like that shit's, you know, why would I like go, yeah, that's like way too hard. But what happens in our brain when we have a manifesto, which is essentially a 1 to 2 page written out thing in your own words about what your life looks like, and we come back to that, like if you do it every day, that's the best, but you come back to it and you like have this vision in your head. We're actually creating new neuro pathways. So this is our brain right now. Right now, because of the way that we were brought up, because of the experiences that we had, because of maybe expectations of other people, you know, our feelings towards what other people want from us, we create these neural pathways in our brain. Has anyone ever heard of this before? A neural pathway? Yes. Awesome. Cool. So this is our neural pathway here right now. It's already been formed. And the more that we use that pathway, the stronger that pathway becomes. And it's a dirt road. But really, when we were a baby, this was also grass, right? Oops. This was also lots of grass. Oh my God. And so our little car here, we were the little baby. We had to go through different experiences to create these new neural pathways. One of them, a great example is walking. So like walking, we never knew how to do. And we created a road for that. And now it's just become second nature. We just walk. Like that's what happens. Even when we drive a car. We drive a car and fuck, like have any of you ever experienced where you like went through like the lights and you're like, holy wait, was that green? Was that a green light? Like did I just go through a red light? That's what this is. It's a neural pathway. So what we're trying to do here is to get to this dream life, we need to create a new neural pathway. And this is where that manifesto comes in. So the manifesto is we're retraining now, instead of going to this default life, we're retraining so we can create a pathway to this dream life and get through all of that, the grass, and be able to, sorry, how did I catch a cough from you, Adele? Through the internet. So your brain is then rewiring that. And then what happens to that other road? What happens to this other road that we had? Right? This other default, we stop going down that now. We start going down this new one. What's going to happen? This one becomes our default. This one becomes our default. This one disappears. But because we're human, what happens is when we get a bit tired, we maybe stop actively choosing that, we stop practicing it, we tend to go back down that default path. And then that starts to become our default path again. But with a manifesto, it's okay if we go down this path again. But we want that just to stay as soft grass, right? We want that to kind of stay there as soft grass. We can't get angry at ourselves if we decide to go down this path. That's okay, because you've been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, right? But if we go down it, look, that's okay. We're like, once we recognize that we've gone down it, we go, oh yeah, right. This isn't the most efficient way for me in my life. This isn't the most efficient way for me to be my best self for my kids, for my partner, for myself, for my work, right? We want to start going back down this. So having that clear idea of where you want to be going and what you want to be achieving and having the destination, it's easy to identify when we start going down our default path and we're not actually living the life that we want to, and we're maybe living somebody else's. So it's not like wishful thinking or anything like that. It's literally just clarity, repetition, and action. So all those like words that we said before. So we said action, upskilling, manifesting, planning, meditation, all of those things tie into us being able to create this new neural pathway. And eventually maybe removing that, or maybe it's still there, but like it's just not as prominent. So how do we create this? How do we create this manifesto? Pretty much, to sum it up, it's answering some questions and some really deep questions about yourself. So there's no right or wrong answer to these questions because we're all different people. It isn't a test. You can't fail at this. The only way that you can fail, actually, is by not giving yourself the space or allowing the permission and effort to try and answer these questions. If you don't do that and you sense that resistance, and then you go, no, like this isn't for me, and that's the only way that you can fail at this. And like that's all on you. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the questions that I did for my own manifesto. I've crafted some for you guys. We're not going to go full deep into the questions, because like I said, this is something that you need to be able to give yourself space and really just be in it. Like there can't be any other distractions. We can't be, doing work. Like this needs to be something that you do in your own time and you really intentionally do it.